Hello and welcome back to the stream. I am Junchan, and today we are working on our Purescript prototype for real-time collaborative text editing, and using the Chronofold library that we started building and a while back now. And last time on stream we had to basically forked or hacked the Purescript SDOM library so that we could do effectful things in state transitions, and then we were playing with the outer layer, the JavaScript network connectivity layer, where I'm trying to use Hyperswarm for that. And I think we were having some trouble with the serialization over the wire. So let's first try and start it up. I restarted it from here, and this is our page, and I'm going to be a little bit aesthetic conscious and say Chronofold browser prototype or something, so that our title is right. And yeah, that's going to rebuild, and we are going to need to refresh, I believe, and then inspect and Chronofold browser prototype, and we want another instance in another browser window. So let's do that. And that then triggers some events. And then if I type a character here, so we see some payload being sent, and we don't see anything received. And that's where we were. I think last time it seemed like we actually succeeded in sending something, but things are a little bit strange. Actually, you are right. And if I hit it the second time, then I get an error. And the error is... oh, that's interesting. We do send another payload here, which is a similar payload. I think the timestamp should be different. Here we have 1, 2. I think we should have 1, 3 here. We do. But apparently we're not sending the right thing. So maybe that's an interesting thing to check out. So I think this is the right. And we are doing the right. So one of the possible trouble here is well, first of all, there's the fact that I'm initializing the connection in the listen hook here, which actually, now that I'm thinking about it, means that there's a chance that we're sending this that we're recreating a new socket each time, and we definitely don't want that. So that's totally wrong. It could be that, in fact, so let's try something. Are we even partially applied? I don't know. I'm not sure what's the right way to be stateful here in a way that makes sense. I think before what we had was this, I mean, most of this code, let's see, most of this code was in the init function. And we'd initialize the socket, and then we would use the top level variable sock in here. So let's try this pattern again, and we'll need to recompile here. I'm trying to think about where we could find an example of something a little bit like that. It's clearly a bit dirty because oh wow, we have failed quite strongly. So let's see. How come? Let's rerun it, see if there's some error we can interpret here. Okay, so it might have been just a transient thing. And main is not a function. So yeah, that sounds like any. Oh, so maybe we don't compile anymore for some reason. F8. Unspecified import. No, it looks like we do. So let's rerun it. Maybe some racing condition between Spago and Parcel. It's a bit strange. Usually it does work, but like looks like that's what it was. Right. So we try to do listen.sock too early. So maybe we wait and retry. So let's see. Let's just set timeout for now for 2 seconds. We want the retry pattern with set timeout. Retry JavaScript set timeout. Do it with a promise. That's exactly what I want to avoid, but everybody's doing it with a promise. Including here. What's the point of doing it with set timeout if you use a promise? Without promise. Retry didn't exist before. Okay, fine. I'll think about how to do this. So we get a cancel. We really only care to check whether sock is undefined or not. If sock is undefined, then we want to retry. So we will call this var retry equals this, and if sock undefined, well, I guess set timeout retry, and then if not, then we can we continue when we're happy. Yeah, var try equals right this, something like that. listen.sock is undefined. Set timeout. Right. In fact, it's not going to really wait here. That's true. So yeah, we can't do it exactly like that because of the non-blocking nature of node. So even if I put something here, it will also be non-blocking, right? So we do need a promise. What's my problem with promises? No problem. Let's do it. Retry promise. There was something. This looked reject delay. Retry operation, blah, func, but I think I can't await in there, so I need to. Yeah, it is going to be tricky. So I think the problem with Node.js is that it will actually not, it will actually show this and this, even if I tell it to wait for like 100 seconds, I believe. Let's check this. Yeah. So even before it it just executes all code and it doesn't block. And then bing, finally it gets there. And then it does see a new connection because that's here, yeah. Okay, yeah, so I think in fact what we want is to pass some callbacks to init or something like that. I think so. I think send and listen, and then we say do, oh well, actually only listen. Depends on having the socket open, so we do this, and then we do a little well, I want this. And we'll pass listen to init when we launch it. Except we'll need to change the signature. This is now going to take this callback. Listen underscore. For it is not a function. Let's rerun it. No, foreign energy is not a function. What is this? Yeah, parcel doesn't give us any traces. That's a bit annoying. So we're supposed to pass this, and we're supposed to have one lying around. And then we're supposed to actually call it. Oh. Not sure. Well, yeah, I can't call listen here. So maybe we just, I mean, I think that that's more or less what we already had, which is we did all of the initialization in listen. Is it saying that listen is not a function? Like when we pass it back, we need to do some transformation in the FFI when we send a function that way? It's very possible. Okay, so let's try this other approach where we in fact we say we have an init function but we don't export it, and therefore we don't use it below. And we use this here. And maybe we pass it all this. I dislike this type of convoluted callback style, but I suppose okay, so right, and how about in here? Okay, and then we won't have the same problem, right? Because now this has been executed only once, and listen is only executed once, and it's the callback that gets executed several times, and the callback should be now in the hands of the receiving end of the socket. but we have exactly the same error. So it had nothing to do with our execution order. It must be something else. How come? Well, we don't receive anything, so it's on the sending side that apparently we don't have a valid chunk. Do we need to somehow empty the socket or whatever, doing something like low level like this? Something I noted here is that this encoding, right, we may need to flush it or drain it. It's super low level stuff. I don't think we really want that. On connect, client.write. Net.connect instead of a custom socket. Let's see. Half closes the socket. It's possible the server will send some data. Why are we supposed to be the server here? Start a server listening for connection on a given handle that has already been bound to port Linux together window name pipe. Yeah, that's higher level than socket, I think. Close, connect, data, drain. Immediately when the write buffer becomes empty, can be used to throttle uploads. Immediately when the data is received, it will be a buffer or a string. Encoding data is set by socket.set encoding. Let's check, can we get the encoding instead? Nope. Okay, I think it was in that. I mean, what kind of encoding do we have access to? UTF-8 or hex, is that it? I don't know if it makes sense to make it hex because it's a big could properly handle multi-byte. Hex delivers to the string of the beacon. Okay, let's see if setting the encoding changes something. Okay, it doesn't compile properly. Okay, socket not ready. wow, it took forever. And when we do it twice, we still have the same problem. Okay, so there's several unknowns here, right? There's the fact that I think we're using node sockets, but we are getting these from Hyperswarm. So it's not completely impossible that they are slightly different from the node sockets. In fact, now that I think about it, it is not node sockets. It is not. Although we get a node error here. We are in the browser, we are not in Node. So this seems to be gotten through readable stream. So that must be some kind of replacement in the browser. So it's a node packet, a cut from node 10. And it supports evergreen browsers. Node.js core streams for userland. We can change readable stream. So it's supposed to be exactly what's in Node. And I imagine it's supposed to be more or less what the web API is going to be, which is all promise-based. And very low level. So the other option is to try and export the stream from the JavaScript and then use a stream library in Purescript. And there's node streams, but I don't know whether that's going to work in the browser or not. Stream buffers. That's the dev dependency. Let's see. Web streams. Binding to readable streams. Except that that's not exactly what we have, I think. But right, because where we have our readable and writable from the readable stream module, and I don't think this is necessarily the same API. Right, there was something use readable stream in the browser. Let's check this. Stream readable stream only for the browser. Huh. So that must be somewhere inside inside one of our dependencies here. and I would surmise Hyperswarm network. Let's see if that's the case. Hyperswarm network. Do you have a browser thing? No. So it could be, in fact, in Hyperswarm web. Because I think the Hyperswarm folks don't care so much for the browser. It's mostly render move that does. But I could be Discovery Swarm WebRTC, WebSocket stream. Let's see if that pulls in readable stream as dependency. Okay, I see. Yeah, it does. So there's some split in the ecosystem, which is going to make our work a little bit more tricky. So it seems like it means that our best bet is to start from node streams and to replace, because the API I think is supposed to be one-to-one. And this seems maintained 2 months ago. But let's double check what APIs we have from Purescript then. Yeah, that's not a higher level abstraction at all. That's just the basic, it's a low level wrapper. So who uses this? It becomes the question. And is that a GitHub question? So seems like the answer is that there's no high-level library around wrapping streams. I'm quite surprised by that. I thought there was. Purescript node coroutines. No docs. But an example. Let's look at the API. See if we like it. It feels fairly low level, but yeah. I mean, it means then that we translate, that we shift the burden of trying to make this more event-based to to Purescript, but this imports control coroutines. So that's what we need to check out. Purescript coroutines. Let's see if there is an example here. Well, it's general control structure following flow control to pass cooperatively between two different routines. And I'm familiar with this because I was playing with, how is it called? Run streaming, which is also coroutines, but with 3 monads. Yeah, so this should be simpler, and I wouldn't mind getting my head back into this mode of programming, in fact, because for everything low-level handling of events, I think it's probably the right machinery. So let's try this then. It's going to be a little bit challenging, and it's a bit of a new thing on the agenda, but we don't shy away from that. So let's do it in Purescript kernel Spago installed first of all coroutines. That seems to work, so that's nice. And then second, node coroutines. And that will have to patch somewhere if it even works. It doesn't, so let's add this into our additions. Node coroutines. See what it depends on. Node streams. Have coroutine. And avar. And master. All right. Let's try and build. Okay, and let's go back to the example. Okay, I want to try and see whether that even works. So we'll do something like this. Just to check, because yeah, in fact, it probably isn't gonna work, but we probably want to try and fix it when it's as simple as this. Meaning the hooking of what's supposed to be nodes, but it's now going to be this readable stream browser package. We want to first solve this before we start looking at the actual hooking up. So we already have some problem there. So I think we're going to have to fork probably Purescript not streams. I would surmise. We can take a look at the code here, see if there's some JavaScript dependency here. but that doesn't seem to be. So if we can, but it seems like there's some node process. That's not nice. Not sure why we have node process. I'd be happy to have node stream there, but node process. So let's check out. Yeah, we're gonna have to fork node streams for sure. So let's do it. See if we can then maybe have a contribution with some way to streams, I think. Some way to hook into either readable streams or the upcoming new web streams API. That'd be the most elegant thing to do. And these guys do Purescript web streams, and there you go, node streams. And yeah, that's fine. I can do it here. Okay. And we'll open this here. And so this doesn't even, right. It's node buffer. Stream.js. Could it be stream buffers? No, those are supposed to be all dev dependencies. There's no runtime dependency on Purescript node stream, which is nice. But is there? Hello. There's no node process here. When we built, there's no coroutines, but we know that they're. So it could be node buffer. That's using something from process. That'll be a little bit more challenging. Encoding.js. Immutable.js. What's this? Oh, util. Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's probably possible to bring in something like that. So I'm not sure where that node.process comes from. So let's go and do a search in node module. It could be the bundler that's doing something of its own. Nothing in node modules, huh? So maybe in node that I suppose is possible. We might want to be in output instead. Yes. Oh, you're kidding me. That's from my example. Uh-oh. That's from the code I copy pasted. Damn. Okay, so my bad. STD in, STD out. Let's clean this out from yeah, STD out, STD in here. What are we gonna do here? To replace this, we need some kind of default readable stream from readable stream. Let's see if there's something in that package. Not the WebSocket one. Yeah, the readable stream one. And Ah, right. It's just this one is the one that says the doc is the node documentation. So okay, maybe from coroutines. So that's it makes a readable. It makes a readable out of an existing stream with an encoding. I mean, we could be ambitious and just put in here our listener, because that's where it's going to be, isn't it? In the end, whatever our listen is should fit there. And then std out, we need a writable, and then that ideally would be something like the console log. But where are we going to find something like this that works in the browser? Not impossible that it would be. I mean, we just need something. We could build one. In fact, it shouldn't be too difficult. Like console log as writable stream. I think iterator. Collect the content of a readable stream in a string. Create with streams. Blah, and then load chunks of that stream. We could do it with files, but I mean, we could try and let's do something called console. And then maybe we'll in fact do something like we'll call it listen stream and console stream, so that we don't destroy our code where we try to make this work. And find it like this is not going to be trivial. Listen stream. And console stream. And we're saying that we want these to be node what do we want them to be? Streams from which module? We don't know, but I think node.stream probably, right? Import node.stream, yeah. And so we want these to be just streams, and that's it. And I guess from the node.stream we should be able to infer how to build something like that. Export listen stream, and let's make it a function for now. Empty thing, and let's do a console stream. Then let's go check out Purescript node streams. We have it checked out right there below us. Let's take a look. What does the code look like? All of these are on end and stuff. Alright, read, record, destroy. The type of stream is just an foreign thing. Let's look at examples. I mean, examples on. Oh, well, no, they will. Okay, so exporting the node stream directly. So if we, so it feels like this should be just sock, although I don't know that that will work at all. But let's pretend that it might. I think this might say that there's some kind of underlying monad that we need to wrap ourselves in the main for effects. Could be that we're in AF, in fact, and yeah, in fact, that we need to shift to being in AF somewhere. So that we wait until we have our sockets connected before we proceed. And then, yeah, then it's imported as or readable or writable. Okay, yeah, well, so let's use those instead. Is that what you're complaining about? No. I suppose it was. Readable is a stream of blah. A type team will have kind type. It needs to be readable of units. Okay. And right, so how am I going to create a stream, a writable stream for console log? And how the hell is that not easy to find on the internet? Writable stream for console log. Should be such a simple thing. Console.log is just a function that pipes the process stream to an output. Well, or how about in the browser though? Yeah, except that there's no such thing as definitely not a stream here. So I think we want avoid to do like a simplest possible node writable stream. Here we go. And this, I think, will be from a readable stream. And then maybe we won't, then maybe everything will be fine. He says. Okay. Okay, let's see. Oh, right. So this is now the code that's the code is trying to run, and I suppose we shouldn't do this. We should do maybe yeah, find the example for readable and do something similar. New readable. Read blah, and then push things into it. Okay, fine. We can do that. Right, we can do that. Maybe by doing something like set timeout and pushing some stuff in it. I suppose we're going to want to do yeah, var in stream. Oh, yeah, I suppose we can do var in stream equals equals this, and this is in stream, and then we do those pushes, and we do this after 2 seconds. And we reload. Readables not defined, indeed. And this is a 2 upper transformation, so if you want to see something, 1, 2, yeah, we probably want to send it in lowercase, but it looks like this is probably going to work, which is fairly awesome. It means that we actually don't have any complication with the browser because of amazing function. Yeah, it works. Amazing functional programming stuff with pushing side effect at the edge. So we are actually providing the node streams, and because they have the same interface, Purescript is like, well, fine. That's super wonderful. And so does this. So that means now, indeed, we just need to think about like this init and like the creation. Basically, we want this to return the socket, which is probably completely fine if we have AF. So let's put AF in the mix. And yeah, the thing we want is the AF and foreign import. Async FFI. That thing. Why? Because it's in the compat thing. Oh, that's the proper library. One must be in the docs directory then. Escaping callback hell effect and forking and parallel execution. Really? Where's the FF? Ah, that's here. That's the foreign import thing. Okay. Good. So let's do that. That's what we need. So maybe we'll say we're in AF here. I think we're allowed to do that. And then just run ourselves. Is that possible? We need to install F. Mm-hmm. Purescript, yeah, definitely not someplace that exists. Yeah, but to be honest, we actually don't need to fork no stream. That's the... Oh, so we probably already have it, which is fine. We just need to then port it. Yeah, we definitely have it. And we just need to import everything from it so that we have the AF type. Okay, and then does it just work? No, because main is not a function, and then yeah. So I think we still need to do it that way, which is totally fine. What am I doing here? Did I lose my redos? No, I didn't. But yeah, here we go. Effect and run AF takes an F, right? So this is in AF. I just want to try and get some top level example here. I'll test maybe. No, that's probably not going to be great. Launch off, maybe in the docs will be better. Make F. Okay, so yeah, that's what I remember, but right. So run F. Yeah, launch F doesn't necessarily care about. Let's compare those. Launch F just takes the F, whereas run F takes the either error and then the F. Yeah, so I think we should be able to do this. And so it means then that we should be able to do something like in the example, like something like this, right? Where here we can do something like something like blah, where blah is going to be of type half of unit. Now we make it something like effect fn half, and then we do blah of type half of nothing, and blah equals from effect fn half blah underscore, and the blah here needs to be without the underscore, and then we need to export blah. Underscore such that it doesn't accept anything, or it accepts a unit, and it returns a function on error on success, such that we do something effectful here, and then we return some canceller. And I think we can just be like whatever here. And then here we can say on success, or we can even make it effectful. Say something like, when you're ready, give me unsuccessive, well, right, unsuccessive units. So kind of nothing, and let's wait 2 minutes, 2 seconds. And right, so let's make it something rather than nothing. Let's make it a Boolean. And save it, and then do on success true. And then we want to do something like lift effect, lock show response. I think that's possible, right? Oh, except that this is from compat. Off. Compat. Yeah. Just skip the whole thing. And okay, it's not exactly that. I think when, yeah, there's a difference with the function with arity 0 are a special case, isn't that the case? Fn blah f string, no, there shouldn't be. Effect fn f import, and yeah, no, there is. Yeah. Main is not a function, and where's that? Are we still not? I think probably because of compilation race condition again. It's is not clean. It used to be better, I think. Maybe it's a Windows thing. Okay. Are we waiting for 2 seconds or... Yeah, I think we are, but I think... do we need to call on success with the double thingy? No, I don't think. Okay, what are these? Just... Yeah, no... nothing of interest for us. Might be because here I'm actually waiting for units, so it could be that I need to return that function directly. And I think the example here, yeah, confirms that. 2. Okay, still not go. 1, 2. Oh, we have a problem. Could not be parsed because we have a extraneous curly brace and we don't have it anymore. And we're building and we have true and we are all happy. Okay, so we have the skeleton for what I would like, which is to, well, to do a few things. Where is our AF going to be? Could be anywhere we want, really. Don't know if it makes a lot of sense to like how we want to interleave this. We could lift effect and have the basically have all of this in it. And then run the process with those. Well, we don't need to run the process, so let's try that. So we could lift effect of this, and then we could also lift effect of the whole world. Yeah, maybe with a do. And then we can get rid of this. And then in practice, yeah, we should still be good. So let's see if refactoring superpowers help us, and they seem to. Wonderful. So now the real thing we're going to do is to actually do init here now, and init's going to be an af instead of blah. And what would it return? It will return a readable. In practice, we could return both. Right, and in which case we pass like the tuple constructor here. It is kind of cool. I think we can do that. We can even maybe make it a for all thing. For RW, we can have a readable R and well, yeah, no, it needs to be in a parenthesis. It's this constructor. Readable, writable W. That's a bit involved, right? Yeah, I dislike this quite a lot. But all right, fine. Readable. I think that's the way we're supposed to do it. So writable W, and then let's be a little bit and that's we're going to return this tuple. And yeah, so we pass this. Oh boy, I hate it. It needs to be for all. And this is F. And we take the constructor and we give the constructor to blah, and then that's it. And not to blah, to init. Oh, I suppose we can just give it here. We can just say tuple. And we don't need a T, and writable doesn't have an E. And init, yeah, init underscore wasn't a thing until now, and still the E. Okay, any error? Yeah. Not a class instance to show stream. Yeah, indeed, that's true. Now this is now a tuple of W as or RW, and so we're not going to show this, and we're going to do some things with streams, and I'm not sure what yet, but the readable stream can go there and the writable stream can go there, and then maybe we can push some things into it manually just to see if we can. I mean, init is going to return those things, and we're going to need to do an adapter between the event-based thing and the coroutine-based streams, but no, actually, well, just the regular streams, but we're going to find a coroutine combinator that's going to allow us to do this, I think. Okay, so we get the R and W, and now we're going to be able to read from the socket. Now, so we're going to have something confused for a while because we need to completely redo init. No, not completely, but we need to export init, and that will take now this constructor, right? Tuple. And yeah, this is the tupling kind of constructor, and we return this type of things. So we basically should be able to do something such as yeah, it's the same socket that we can both read and write to. It's a duplex thing. We don't need to. We can just use a better type for that and not bother with the top thing. Coroutine. This only has the example for the simplex ones. Node stream, however, has duplex. That's the case, right? Socket is a duplex stream, right? In fact, that's the type, right? That's kind of what we were reinventing here. Now we won't have to. But yeah, let's go check this for a second. Duplex. This type, and that's it. It's nothing else. It just means that we can read and write from it. Let's just double check that we have some stuff to deal with that in the node coroutine. We haven't even looked yet at the documentations. Yeah, I think the documentation went. Yeah, no, that's not what we want. It is not what we want. Not buffer neither. Coroutine neither. That's the one, and that's not the example. That's the actual implementation, and there's only readable and writable there. So I suppose that it means that if we do a duplex, then we just extract the read and the write. Is that no? I think we actually need to create our own thing. I think duplex is not something that's part of the node coroutine world as it is, and this is really just what we have, right? Yeah. So, and it's so simple, by the way. So we actually want to tuple is one of the results of this thinking, and where we tuple is strange, but we'll tuple both socks. I mean, I suppose we could say stream and then allow it to sort of cast to readable and writable instead of, that might be possible. I mean, cast, I mean, you know, polymorphically do its thing if the types are right. Yeah, it is a row type, so actually it will just work if I return sock. So no need for this. Cool, I like that. No need for this business. We also can set that we want a duplex of what? For now, let's say of, I mean, we're going to want ops. That's what we really are going to want, or array op. But for now, maybe we say string, and we see where that gets us. Or do I need to do something like read string and string. Kind of makes sense that you'd be able to have the two types, but no. So row type, so does it mean that I have to have a record here? No. Do I just need to do string? No, if it's a thing, then it needs to be okay. Let's look at the examples in the actually we have a package here. Let's look at example. That's effect duplex. Oh, that's it. So actually what? So there's no type? Return type? There is no return type. Okay, I'm a bit puzzled by that. But okay, maybe. And then in it will not return a tuple. Indeed, it will return a socket, we can call it here. And then we'll be able to do read things and write things with it. I mean, this is going to be trouble, I think. Maybe not, because it's no, it might be fine. And what for definition, amused, blah. Yeah, that's fine indeed. It's true, and we're good with it. So calm down, please. Thank you. Okay, and well, it's good that it compiles. Okay. Tuple's not defined. Yeah, because my main is now being strange. Right, because oh yeah, of course, in many ways, and I actually should retrieve my blah so that I know the pattern here. Because we want, in fact, this. And on success, return our socket and be happy. And then we can actually do canceling things, which will be nice. So in theory, we have a socket here. And so, yeah, we want to now push to it in some way. Write to it, for instance. Taking a writable and a buffer. Oh, string would be better. So let's write string somewhere, like let's say this is in effect, so we can lift effect and do, oh, actually we can just write string, take a writable like socket, and then an encoding like UTF-8, and then a string like hello, and And effect unit, you say? What's that? Effect unit, you say? And you're going to return some boolean for me, okay? I'm fine with that. No, you know what? I'm going to ignore your boolean. Thank you very much, but I don't need it. And then here, well, you know what? I'm gonna just return unit here, if you don't mind. And yeah, sure. And we can return per unit here as well and be happy. I think, yeah, looks like we would be. And then what? Then we're going to have hello being sent sometime, or what? Not clear what's going on here. Where are we? Nowhere. Wow. Let's see if we're getting crazy. And looping. We don't seem to be. So we don't get the new connection message. And we don't pass anything to init. So that's the problem. It's actually init doesn't take anything. Just return the socket. And let's not debug here. And we have a swarm and we have something going on. We have a new connection, and then as soon as the connection starts, something happens, which is great, and it just says to us, don't have an init, trying to listen to something with which doesn't make sense. So let's fix this. And so listen. I mean, this is our old code. This is probably this is going to need to be removed fairly soon, but for now, let's try and rebuild and see what goes on. See if we actually see hello somewhere. Okay, well, yeah. Also, so the listen code just doesn't work, but that makes sense. It doesn't, and it just stops there. Yeah, but I think we're getting there. And so I'm just going to write a few notes about what we did. Oh wow, I didn't even start a log today. Oh, must have been a bit distracted. 28 and prototype. So what did we do? Let's move the prototype stuff here. Let's clean up the links from today and get the ones from today instead. Yeah, from the socket thing. I think that's the relevant one. Oh, maybe I want to select some tabs here. And Yeah, prototype. Broadcast it up to the swarm. So we are in the process. So we've done that. Yeah, indeed, we haven't yet assigned the unique replica. But we're basically now we've been move stream code to Purescript node coroutines. And what we're going to need to do for that is hook send and listen. Well, it's a send function and listen callback to coroutines. That's going to be the main thing, and then we're going to have to come back to assigning a unique replica ID to each browser instance. I think these things now, yeah, one thing that we're going to need to do then fairly shortly after that is to migrate to another, to move away from Purescript as DOM. Because, yeah, I'm not sure that, I mean, we might, before we do that, we might want to suggest the hook trick to path 31 in the repo, and so maybe we decide after that. I mean, I think now that we've done most of the sort of difficult event wiring stuff, so it's mostly about reusing some of the stuff that we've done so far. I think, you know, it'd be fairly easy to do something a bit pretty much exactly like what was in the example here, like meaning produce is from the coroutine app, so we can just produce stuff and I mean, produce actually takes a callback and then will emit something with the callback, whereas writable waits for something and then so on. So yeah, we're just going to need to rewrite our push and listen and the interaction here, and then the interaction in the interpreter. Oh no, we don't have anything anymore in the interpreter. Yeah, F really is send, and in fact I'm going to sort of maybe even call it emit if we have receive. You know what, send is, I think, appropriate. Yeah. Name send with shadow. Yeah, that's the problem, but that's good. We can leave it as is, and we just need to wire things and then decide whether we keep as DOM or not. I think with the way it is now, it's not too bad. We have effects outside, and anything a little bit stateful is actually managed by communicating things into state. So there's some implicit, there's something that's not super clean there about the fact that you need to know when the effects are going to be applied with regards to the state change, and that's arbitrary. It's not necessarily expressed in the types in any manner. It's just based on this particular change that we did here, where and it could be something else than this particular sequence. So maybe that's the more flexible thing, would be to actually decide what the sequence is going to be when you attach, and allow things to be executed before and after. That might be the more flexible model. But then maybe we're reinventing something like halogen or whatever. I mean, you know, like a very basic version of it. Anyway, I'm happy about our progress. We've hooked up a new library underneath to deal with deal with streams, and that means that we won't have to deal with streams in nasty JavaScript. We're going to be able to get rid of send and receive, send and listen here, and we're going to be able to just simply return that socket and then do everything effectful in the Purescript world. And that's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on the next stream, which should be on Saturday, where we are back doing some more prototype experimental work with streaming tools. Where last time we succeeded in doing a basic Twitch overlay, and something that we might be reusing, in fact, at some point with our Chronophore prototype. So thanks a lot, and yeah, see you Saturday. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.